Panda anthem.
Ian, what's up?
Red Panda anthem.
Red Panda, what's good?
Red Panda anthem.
It's your boy.
Let's do one more before we go to questions, but I'm going to let you two pick this. I see AMD and I see Amazon. So you two, which one do you want us to talk about? AMD or Amazon?
And I'm going to tell you the ones you guys are sleeping on for, especially during a recession, Eli Lilly.
Mm-hmm. Eli Lilly.
Tim Duncan. Not the sexiest, but consistent. Go look at Eli Lilly. And I couldn't talk about it before because, you know, me being from Indiana, I had so many friends. I couldn't talk about it in 2020. It was too much information that I had. I don't want to get us in trouble. But since this is not like a viral or health-based recession now, which 2020 was really like a macro dead cat bounce. It was a test. I'll tell you, Eli Lilly is like one of the most amazing companies that's ever been run. That's never talked about. Never talked about. If you go look at Lilly's chart, that chart looks like what you want your bank account to look like. Like if I look right now, out of all the companies, it's one of the few that has not had a pullback and has accelerated. So Lilly is at 302. 2018, it was at $80. In 2020, it was at 100. 3x from 2020 for a pharma company. Boring ass pharma company. Shout out to everybody in Indianapolis. But if you ever worked at Lilly and IU, Indiana University, where I went as a big farm system for Lilly, man, remarkable management, remarkable products, great relationship with FDA, great relationship with government. Monopoly. And if you go out further, 10 years, 20 years, you can see they've been on a steady uptick, steady doing better every year.
There you have it. Eli, it looks like AMD is the winner.
Yeah,
close. It was close.
Yeah.
So AMD, how you feel about it? Are you invested in AMD, right?
I'm investing in both.
That's a disclosure. You gotta announce that before you can speak on
it. Yeah. I mean, AMD I love. Again, I just go down the client list, and when we talk about semiconductors, obviously we speak on all the time. But the companies that you're naming are all part of their client customers base. Google's cloud, Amazon, Microsoft. So you got to think. Even Samsung is now thinking about using them as a client. And so long term, like again, if we're in this long term, I said AMD is one of the companies I'm getting 1,000 shares in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at about 700 now. But yeah, I love it long term. It's one of those companies that isn't going to go anywhere. That and NVIDIA are going to be the two leaders in that space.
Yeah. AMD is one of my favorites. For those of you who like legacy Red Panda members, you're in somewhere between like 10 and $21. Also, though, on a crypto side, if there's ever a big hack, and not saying that, be clear, might clip this up, I don't think that this will happen, or it's probable that Bitcoin can be hacked. But if there is a major hack of a crypto platform or a cryptocurrency, AMD chips are going to be the one that powers it. And if we see one big breach, there's going to be a sweeping attack across the world. And their processors are probably the only ones at scale that will allow people to do it. And that's people who's trying to crack it down.
And even in the metaverse space, like, right? And they're the ones that are partnered with Facebook, or formerly known as Facebook or Meta, to be the processor that's going to be powering the metaverse. And so if we're thinking 5 to 10 years out, if that's where we're headed, you want to be with the company that's going to be with the company that's providing the power forward.
And before we go to questions, the reason why I like ETFs and index funds is because a lot of times with companies, it's not necessarily if it's a good company, if the stock is going to keep rising. It's not even a situation if the company is dominant in the industry, if the stock is going to keep rising. It's if scalability looks likely.
True.
And the bigger you get, the harder it is to scale. Like Facebook, they might still be the most dominant social media platform. They might be in the top 10. It's not easy to have a top 10 company in the world. Scalability might be an issue.
But they got two companies inside of it that are leaders, right? WhatsApp and Instagram are inside of it.
Yeah, but scalability.
But the other side of that coin is if every hedge fund, well, not every, majority of hedge funds don't like Zuckerberg, and I'm not going to go too deep, but they don't like him. And now the government is blocking every acquisition. You can't grow anymore. And then you stole the idea from the Winklevoss twins, and now the Winklevoss twins went to crypto and destroyed, and that's why he couldn't get his cryptocurrency for Facebook off. That's why I'll tell you guys, like, competition, and I put in a video and we'll play it next week, but competition is a mission for fools. Like, you should partner with people to take over an industry, or if you choose to compete, you're literally saying, I'm not good enough to be number one. So once he took on the Winklevoss twins and they built that platform and he stole it, they're the one who pushed crypto to the funds. And he had every fund on earth start to attack him. So them same hedge fund managers, when he was putting his proverbial tech dick on the table, when he was about to go public, Facebook is the only big company of its size that had issues at the open of their stock. You think that was by accident? Stock market has been running since 1600. You think that a glitch on their day by accident? That was intentional. Now, Winklevoss twins build great relationship. Now I'll send me and my 80 friends at you to destroy your company and short your company. And we know since you stole that technology, you haven't built anything else. Man, let's run it into the ground. Now my government friends, if I'm the Winklevoss twins, are also going to block every deal that you want to do, every acquisition, and you're going to die a slow death. Scalability, not likely.
Scalability does not look like
I
it.
know early AMD was one of yours and you weren't in the investment anymore. Like one of those companies that you like
Sold it.
I know that, but I'm saying now that it's got to a price point, is it you're still interested or
Have to revisit the situation.
Well, Facebook?
recalibrated? No, AMD.
AMD.
Yeah, we both were in
AMD
the
is
position
yeah.
early on.
Just
Yeah.
waiting to deploy a little bit of capital. I think, the market as a whole it still has room to pull back. Probably make some moves in the summertime. I had a nice position in the AMD option.
Early.
Sold it twice. You can never lose by taking profit. You learn that in the basics.
Valuable.
Rashad, how many trades you take this year?
Not a lot. Not a lot. I'm not sure the exact number, but probably under 12, 15, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fewer trades, more wins. And I know it feels like, because if you're listening, you're like, yo, they just hating because they don't want us to get the bag. If you get a relationship with a broker, they'll tell you there is a throttle point for futures, derivatives, options, Forex, penny stocks. If you trade over a certain, so like if you trade rainwater in Dakota, or like I was going to show in a video, like you can trade the consumer price index for all urban areas in the United States of America. It's only a certain amount of times you can trade that before you start to lose, though. Write this down. For every product that you trade, talk to somebody inside of an institution to know how many trades you need to take before you get to a place where you're going to start to bleed in your account.
Yeah.
Brokers going to make money regardless. Shout out to Vlad at Robinhood. Boy, he got a big pay. He got what, 834 million? How much? 500 million? Some crazy number for last year because of the order flow and the number of trades that were taken. The brokers are going to get paid regardless, but it is your job to just listen and execute. And I'm going to be real. If I call out these prices, please put yes in chat if I made you money. Why is investing so hard? And I'm not hitting you all over the head and saying, hey, give me 50%. I should. Man, I can make $40 million a year on the back end just taking profit off of y'all. I don't. When I walk into Goldman and Citadel, though, and I bring y'all with me, run it up. Execute. You don't have to be the smartest person. And I'm going to be real. Often the smartest person who knows the most makes the least amount of money. Some of you know everything. That's why you like, hey, maybe we can do quizzes and portfolio review and all that. Man, that's not the activity of a person who actually makes money. Not at all. Once again, indicators, I'm going to go to it again. Hey, when you talk to Ross and Diddy, they ever brought up to you, hey, man, I made $42 million this year looking at indicators. Not one time.
No.
That's sold to retail investors
another thing is it's hard to focus on multiple things at one time. I was talking to somebody today, a few days ago, a friend of mine in the VC space, and talking about like, VCs and what they look for and things of that nature. And it was like, whenever an entrepreneur, a lot of times, like they got a lot of different stuff going on, but he was like, when you put together a pitch deck for VCs, focus on like 2 areas that you really, really focus on. Cause he was like, you might think that by having 10 things that you have in your pitch deck that you're diversified, but that's just showing them that you can't focus on one thing.
Mentally unstable.
Yeah, it's just like dating. It's extremely hard to have like 10 different, if you're trying to holler at 10 different.
Boy, I did it. It wasn't fun. I'm gonna be real with you. Disaster.
Yeah, you can't, it's difficult, even for the best sniper.
Stay focused.
You got
no, for real. Look how agitated I am, and look how happy Troy and Rashad is.
1 or 2, no more than 3.
Stay focused.
1 or 2 or no more than 3.
Even the third would be a liability.
No, yeah, I'm just saying as far as you always hear one's too close to none. So it's like if you are gonna play that game, just 10 too much. You're doing too much. You're doing too much.
I mean, but even with that, get one if they mess up, do what a index fund would do and rotate that one out. Exfoliate.
Backup. Here's backup plan.
Kind of like ARC. Tesla used to be the number 1 position. Roku has passed it.
Yeah.
So is Zoom.
Yeah.
Now it's
even with that Roku garbage, I know that's the number 1 position. Roku terrible. No.
Yeah.
For a long-term investment. Good trade. Also, I have to remind you too, Kathy and most hedge funds are trading quarter to quarter. You're not going to find out at the right time when to get in their position. That is not their job. They don't even call their clients and tell their clients that. It's too hard to talk. But yeah, for fellas, focus on 1, maximum 2. Stay popping, stay on top of your job. Today, I know you're going to cuss me out, but it's just entertainment, right? Corey and Joe and Chad, everybody told me, be more charismatic.
It's entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies.
What you mean?
No, this is the EYL Cares campaign.
It's only entertainment. This is for entertainment purposes only.
Only. Rashad and
what you mean by you got on your little pink, you feeling yourself because your slides ain't work? Ooh, boy, this text.
The thoughts shared by Ian and Rashad are solely theirs.
Entertainment.
Y'all seen me rotate mine, oh boy. You think Kathy will rotate them out? Hey, this ain't working. Next, go ahead.
This that Red Panda Anthem. Ian, what's up? This that Red Panda Anthem. Red Panda, what's good? Red Panda Anthem. Whole point going up. I know they can't stand it.